In this video, I want to talk to you about different kinds of aerobic or cardiovascular training. You have high intensity interval training, or HIIT, and you have low intensity steady state, which is also referred to as LISS. So HIIT versus LISS training in terms of cardiovascular and aerobic capacity, you're going to see better results from high intensity interval training. I'll also tell you it's going to be way more efficient for you. So what's been popularized by modern marketing and our current all the weight loss crazes and the different diets and things, it focuses on low intensity steady state cardio because it talks about utilizing endurance muscle fibers, which use more fat for fuel, and you can do it longer because it's more sustainable, for a longer duration. And so what it does is it allows you to burn a higher amount of calories. And so a lot of people focus on low intensity steady state cardio versus high intensity interval training. The problem with this is your body's an adaptive machine, and it's going to adapt to the stress that you place on it. And so if you do something that's low intensity, that's not super highly stressful, and you do it for a long period of time, your body's actually going to be able to adapt to that pretty easily because it's not a super harsh stimulus. Also, another thing to consider is that low intensity steady state cardio actually represses metabolism. It turns down the anabolic signal in your body. It releases higher levels of cortisol, or the stress hormone that can break down muscle and store body fat in your body. And it can just cause an overt amount of fatigue on your nervous system and on your muscles, causing you to, again, increase that stress response and need more recovery. And it actually also can metabolize muscle for fuel. If you only do low intensity steady state cardio, you'll see these people lose a lot of weight. But like we've talked about in a past video, all that weight loss isn't all body fat. And if you don't do resistance training alongside your steady state cardio, you'll actually lose muscle mass. So you might hit the weight loss goal that you want on the scale, but you might not like the way that you look because you've lost muscle mass. Your skin isn't tight, it's kind of flabby or saggy. You've lost some body fat too, but you just still aren't satisfied with the way that you look. LISS is good for general aerobic, cardiovascular health. It's good for weight loss, generally speaking. It's good for increasing mood and psychology. It's good for helping slowly increase aerobic capacity. But when you look at it compared to high intensity interval training, it's inferior. And so it's also not efficient. I mean, in order to get the benefits out of LISS, you have to do it for a long period of time, 30, 45, 50, 60 minutes. Though there are some psychological benefits that come at 20 minutes, it's still, that you have to do more and more and more to continue seeing results, especially because your body adapts to it. So you burn fewer and fewer calories the more you do steady state cardio, because your body adapts. It doesn't take as much energy to propel your body to do that activity. So you burn fewer and fewer calories, not the calories that are set on the cardio machine. It's inaccurate. When it comes to high intensity interval training, the reason this is superior is because of a few reasons. One, not only do you train aerobically, but you train anaerobically. So you're stimulating endurance muscle as well as some strength and power muscle. So you're getting the best of both of those, okay? It increases metabolism far better than steady state cardio. Steady state cardio actually represses metabolism, and high intensity interval training increases metabolism. So you actually can do aerobic training, you get better benefits from it, and it actually increases your metabolic rate versus decreases it. So you're gonna burn more calories over a longer period of time. Now, you're like, well, how do I do less of this and burn more than over here? It's because it's not what happens in the workout, it's what happens after the workout. EPOC, or exercise post-oxygen consumption, is what we call the afterburn. It's because the high intensity at which you perform the HIIT training, or high intensity interval training, you actually are put into an oxygen deficit. And for a few hours after your workout, you're actually burning at a higher metabolic rate than what you would get afterwards after doing steady state cardio. So you actually are going to have this afterburn effect that's going to carry over. Another nice thing about HIIT training is the standard recommendations for high intensity interval training are doing 3 bouts per week, every other day, for a total of 20 minutes only. Doesn't that sound great? Instead of doing, 3 to 6 60-minute LISS sessions or steady state cardio sessions per week, you can just do 3 20-minute sessions like almost a tenth of what that is, and get better metabolic benefits out of it. So 3 sessions spaced out throughout the week, 20 minutes total. And the way that you do this, what makes it high intensity, is you spend a 2-to-1 ratio in low intensity and high intensity. So the low intensity is what you spend more time in, and then you spike your heart rate up through activity during the high intensity phase for 1 minute, or sorry, a ratio of 1. So typically you can do 2 minutes of low intensity and then 1 minute burst of high intensity. 2 minutes of low intensity, 1 minute burst of high intensity. Or if that's a little too much, you could do 1 minute of low intensity and 30 seconds of a burst of high intensity. You can do this any way you want. You can do it sprinting, you can do stairs, stair runs, you can do kettlebell exercises, you can do calisthenics, you can do traditional cardio machines, you can do rowing, you can do weights in this fashion if you know how to program it. So high intensity interval training is superior to steady state. You get better benefits, you get the afterburn effect, you get increases in metabolism, it's more efficient. All around, it's just a better training protocol.